The last time the Dallas Cowboys running back room looked this bare was in 2015 when they went into the season with Darren McFadden and Joseph Randle as their two main guys in the backfield. Even then, one of those backs was a first-round pick, 4th overall. Now the Cowboys running back room consists of 2 undrafted free agents and a 6th round pick. Yeah, that's it. Rico Dowdle, Deuce Vaughn, and Malik Davis. So yeah, the Cowboys do need to address the position in the draft. And I have 2 names that I really like. One guy you'll likely have to take in round 2 or 3, and the other you could potentially get in the 3rd round or even later. Now, let's get into the video. As I've said about 10 times, Trey Benson is my running back 1. But because it's been talked about so much on this channel, I'm not going to continue to do so. But I do want to make it clear that if he is there in round 2 at number 56, I'm taking him. But for this video, let's say that Trey Benson is gone, and I think it's a very high possibility that he doesn't even make it to your pick at number 56. There's another guy that I potentially like the Cowboys taking in round 2, and that is Tennessee running back Jalen Wright. Real quick, let's look at the testing numbers from the combine because they are impressive. Impressive enough to probably make him rise up draft boards at least a little bit. He has an okay composite size grade, but what sticks out is the speed, the 10-yard split, the explosion grade. All of those things are elite. And those 2 things really show up on tape. My scouting report on Jalen Wright looked like this. Extremely efficient in 2023, 7.4 yards per attempt on 136 carries, 4.35 yards after contact per attempt. He's an explosive runner. He has legit game-breaking speed. He consistently outruns defensive backs and linebackers. He beats people to the edge. He's a threat to score every single time the ball touches his hands. He shows good vision and patience in the backfield. He understands how to set up his blocks, and he will get in there and mix it up in pass protection. But the main problem that I see with Wright's game is really the lack of agility and elusiveness that you might see from other backs in this class, like a Bucky Irving, a Marshawn Lloyd, a Ray Davis, etc. He can still make defenders miss, but he isn't what you'd consider an ankle breaker. It's really just not his game. But the explosiveness, put one foot in the ground, get north and south, and then outrun everybody, that's his game. And there is something else that I like about Jalen Wright, and I think it goes well with the next guy we're going to talk about. And it's an important piece to this running back puzzle for the draft this year. And what we're going to talk about is the amount of work that some of these guys have already had in their college careers. For example, the most amount of college touches for a running back in this year's draft is Ray Davis from Kentucky. He had 840 college touches. Now, Davis isn't a guy that I wanted to talk about right now, but I can't go without saying that that dude is legit. So here's a list of the top backs from this year's class and how many times each of them touched the ball throughout their college careers. As you can see, Jonathan Brooks has the least amount with 266. Our guy Trey Benson had 349, and right in front of him is Jalen Wright with 398. And then all the way at the bottom, you can see guys like Braylon Allen, Blake Corum, and Ray Davis with plus 600 touches each. Now, of course, this list is not everything. It can be both a good and bad thing depending on how you want to look at it. Ray Davis and Blake Corum have legit valuable experience carrying the football, and it shows up on tape. The small little nuances in the run game, you can tell that they have experience running behind different blocking schemes, setting up linebackers. It's just there because they've had 700 carries throughout their college career. But then again, Ray Davis and Blake Corum also have a lot of carries on their 5'8", 5'9" frames. They have a good 2 to 3 years of touches running back one wear and tear on their bodies, compared to other guys like Jalen Wright, Jonathan Brooks, and Isaac Gorindo. Speaking of those two guys, we aren't really going to cover Jonathan Brooks in today's video because it feels like he's a guy that is constantly covered by Cowboys media. He seems like somebody the Cowboys could take in round 2. It's lining up to be perfect for that situation. But for today, I want to cover somebody that maybe you guys haven't heard of that I think would still be a really good fit on this team. Somebody that you're probably a little less familiar with. And I'd argue that the value is actually even better than Brooks in round 2. So let's talk about Isaac Guerendo, the Louisville running back that was actually teammates with Braylon Allen at Wisconsin before transferring to Louisville in 2023. When you take a quick look at the relative athletic score chart, he is a guy that absolutely dominated the NFL Combine. He ranked 7th out of 1,800 running backs from 1987 to 2024. 7th. As you can see, the size, speed, explosion, and agility all graded out as great. He's a well-built running back at 6 foot, 220 pounds. He has a running back 1 frame for the NFL. As you can see by the 4.33 40, he has game-breaking speed that challenges defenses that keep good angles and gap integrity, or he'll be gone. He's a hard runner that refuses to go down on first contact. He showed good natural hands when catching the ball out of the backfield, and he had 4.11 yards after contact per attempt. But there are some cons to his game. He was never a workhorse back in college, just 231 carries throughout his entire career. And like I was saying earlier, that's good. He doesn't have any wear and tear on his body. But it's also not good because he's a bit raw at the position. And you can tell sometimes with his vision, him trying to bounce it outside too much, not trusting his blocks, and in pass protection, which we're going to talk about in just a second. I think there are legitimate concerns about his ability to be a 3-down player in the NFL. And you also have to wonder, why didn't he have more college snaps? Why was it that he kept getting stuck behind guys at Wisconsin and Braylon Allen and had such little usage before transferring to Louisville? Because the dude obviously is athletic, and in his time at Louisville had a really good year. For me, I had a 3rd round grade on him. Now it seems like the consensus boards are putting him in the mid 4th round, early 5th round, but when I turned on the tape, I saw the athleticism. The major concern that you're going to have is, and that's going to come with anybody in the later rounds of the NFL draft, we know he's athletic, but is he a running back? I know the joke is that you can put anybody back there and get the desired production from the position. And I think some of the concerns that we talked about are reasons that you could potentially get this player in the 4th, maybe even 5th round of this year's draft. 5th round might be pushing it just a little bit, but it is still a possibility if the running backs start sliding as a group. I really like the player. I mean, I had a 3rd round grade on him, and I think the potential to be an every down back is right there. He's ready to be molded into a 3-down player and somebody that's a plus for your team. But the real question is for the Cowboys. Can this team wait on a guy that might need a year to really get going? I don't think Guerendo is 110% ready to carry the load year 1 out of the gate for your football team. And that's what it seems like we're looking for in this year's draft. Year 1 starters, get out there, play right now. But what do you guys think? Would you be interested in taking a guy like Jalen Wright in round 2 or 3, or Isaac Guerendo in maybe rounds 4 and 5? Let me know down below. Thank you guys so much for watching the video. If you enjoyed, please make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. I love you all, and I'll see you next time. Bye.